Hi guys, good evening. All are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm.
Recording in progress.
All are getting my screen and voice.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for confirmation. Guys, today is the second session. Right. Yesterday, just we had discussed about the course content. And in the next 3 months, what is our plan of action? We discussed in yesterday's session. Right. Today, so we are going to talk what is DevOps, where actually DevOps will come into the picture. Today we are going to discuss what is DevOps, where DevOps will come into the picture. Okay. So anyone can confirm what is DevOps, guys? Anyone can tell me what is DevOps? What is DevOps? See guys, DevOps is not a programming language. It is not a framework. It is not a particular tool. Then what is DevOps, guys? DevOps is a culture or set of practices. By using this DevOps practices, by using this DevOps culture, what we can do, guys? We can deliver the project very quickly. We can automate the delivery process, guys. DevOps is not a programming language. It is not a framework. It is not a tool. Then what is DevOps? Just it is a culture. Just it is a process. Just it is a set of practices. By using this DevOps culture, we can automate the delivery process, guys. We need to deliver the project to client. That delivery process, whatever we have, that process we are going to automate by using this DevOps culture. Before DevOps, people use it to do manually, guys. Right? Whatever they did manually, all those things we automated by using this DevOps culture, guys. See, guys, DevOps is not a programming language. Right? It is not a framework. It is not a framework. Right? It is not a tool. It is not a tool. Then what is DevOps? DevOps is a culture. DevOps is a culture or process or set of practices. By using this DevOps culture or practices, right, what we are going to do, guys? We are going to automate the delivery process. We are going to automate the delivery process, guys. See, guys, please read it. DevOps is not a programming language. It is not a framework and it is not a tool. Then what is DevOps? Just it is a culture. Just it is a culture. Just it is a set of practices. Just it is a process. Right. So with this DevOps culture, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. With this DevOps culture, we can deliver the project to client. We can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. Guys. Right? So we use this DevOps. DevOps is used to automate the project delivery process. Project delivery process to client. Automate the project delivery process to client. Read it, guys, once. Just read the statements. It is not a programming language. It is not a framework. It is not a tool. Right? Then what is this? Just it is a culture, or it is a process, or it is a set of practices. With this DevOps culture, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. Right? By using this DevOps, right, what we are doing, we are automating the project delivery process to client. Right? Instead of doing manually, we are automating that process, guys. Understood, guys? Observe carefully. Now observe carefully, guys. Now you guys will get the clear clarity. Right, guys, observe carefully. Right, if you go to any project, guys, we have two types of teams are available. We have two types of teams are available, guys. What teams are available? Development team and operations team. Development team and operations team. What is the job of development team, guys? Just they will develop the project based on the client requirement. Client will give one requirement. According to that requirement, developers will write the code by using some programming languages, either by using Java or Python or .NET. Either by using any one of the programming languages, just they will write the code. That's it, guys. That is the developer activity. What is the role of developers, guys? Just they will write the code based on the client requirement. Whatever the clients given, based on that requirement, they will implement the logics. They will write the code by using some programming languages. See here, I have set of developers. In a project, we will have multiple developers, not single developer, guys. We will have multiple developers in the project. See, let me take some of the developers here. Right, we have in the companies, guys, we will have multiple developers, not a single developer, guys. Not a single developer. Developer 1, developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, like that. We will have multiple developers in the company, multiple developers in the project. See, we have set of developers are available. Set of developers are available. So this is development team in my project. So this is a development team in my project, guys. Development team. And what is the job of this development team, guys? Just developing the project based on the client requirement. Client will give one requirement. Based on that client requirement, these people will develop the project, guys. That's it. Once a project is developed, once a code is implemented as per client requirement, what they need to do next? They need to upload the code into the GitHub repository. Right. See here, developer 1 is working on one functionality. Developer 2 is working on another functionality. Developer 3 is working on something else functionality. Developer 1 is working on login page. Developer 2 is working on registration page. Developer 3 is working on some dashboard, guys. Now, they need to integrate all these functionalities as a single project. They need to integrate all these functionalities as a single project. Who will take care of that integration part? GitHub will take care of that integration part. Whatever these guys are implemented, these guys need to upload the code into the GitHub repository. GitHub will integrate that code as a single project. GitHub will take the code from all the developers and it will integrate as a single project. See here, I have GitHub repository. This is my GitHub repository, guys. This is my GitHub repository. GitHub repository. So whatever the code these guys are implementing, these guys are going to upload that code into this GitHub repository. Now code is available into the GitHub repository. That's it, guys. Developer's job is completed. Just they need to write the code and they need to upload the code into the GitHub repository. Right. So next, guys, here we need to deploy the application in the server. Where we are going to create the servers, guys, right? We are going to create the environment. We are going to create the infrastructure in AWS. This is my AWS, guys. This is my AWS account. This is my AWS dashboard. AWS. In this AWS, guys, remember one point. In the companies, tomorrow once you guys are joined in the companies, only for development perspective, we will use the Windows operating system. Only for development activities, we will use the Windows operating system. But applications will be deployed in the Linux machines only, not in Windows machines. Not in Windows machines, guys. Developers will do the development in Windows operating system. And once they develop the code, they need to deploy the application into the servers. Where those servers are available, where that server infrastructure is available, that server infrastructure is available in AWS cloud, not in Windows, guys, not in our local system. That server's infrastructure is available in AWS cloud. In this AWS cloud, they will create the Linux machines. They will create the Linux virtual machines. See guys, this is my AWS cloud. Inside this AWS cloud, I am going to create Linux machine. So this is my Linux machine, guys. This is my Linux machine. Linux VM. We will call it as virtual machines. Linux VM. Inside this Linux VM, they need to deploy the application. Who will do that activity? Operations team. Operations team will do the deployment activity. And if you go to any project, just now I told two types of teams are available. One is the development team, another one is the operations team. What is the job of development team? Just they need to write the code according to client requirement. Once that coding is completed, they will deploy that, they will upload that code into the GitHub repository. Right? With this, developer activity is completed. Now, operations team come into the picture. Now, operations team come into the picture. DevOps engineers are development team or operations team? DevOps engineers are operations team. DevOps engineers belongs to operations team. Now that DevOps team came into the picture, what they will do? They need to download the code from the GitHub repository. Whatever the code is present in the GitHub repository, they need to download that code. Okay, right here we have the code. So that code is written by using Java language. That code is written by using Java language. Right guys, now here, can you give that code directly to the client? Client can able to understand Java programs. Here, whatever the code these developers are implemented, can you give that code directly to the client? No, he can't able to understand. Client does not know Java. He don't know anything about Java. He don't know anything about Python. He don't know anything about .NET. So then what we need to do? We can't able to give this code directly to the client. Right? We need to see here high level language. Whatever the code we have, that is high level language, that is a readable format. My system can't able to understand that high level language. So we need to convert that one as machine understandable format. Machine understandable format we need to convert. Right. That's why here I'm going to use Maven, guys. What Maven will do? Maven will take the code from this repository and it will build and it will package. What it will do, guys? It will build and package the code as a WAR file. I want to deploy one web application, guys. That's why I'm going to package as a WAR file. Earlier, that build separate team is available for build activity. Separate team is available for build activity. What they will do? They will take the code from the GitHub repository and they will convert it as the machine understandable format and they will create one package from that code, guys. With that code, they will create one package and that package they will deploy. But we are not going to use. Now we are automating that process. We don't have any specific team. We don't have any particular team to do that build activity. We are going to automate that build process at here. Okay. So now what we are going to do, guys, observe carefully. Developers are uploaded the code into the GitHub repository. With this, developers activity is completed. Now operations team came into the picture. In AWS, Linux virtual machine is available. Inside this Linux virtual machine, we need to deploy the code. Here, what activities are pending, guys? What activities are there? Right. First, we need infrastructure. We need infrastructure, guys. Inside the AWS, right, we have multiple systems are available. I need to deploy the application in multiple systems. For that, I want to create the infrastructure. See guys, let me write the point set here. Let me add some point set here guys. First point, infrastructure setup. Right here, whatever the points I am writing, that is the DevOps team activities. Here, what is the points I am writing? That is the operations team activities. Infrastructure setup. Infrastructure setup means what will come under this? That here, missions setup is required. Computers, missions setup is required. Next here, softwares installations are required. Software installations are required. Next we required server setup is required. Servers setup is required. Next here database setup is required. Database setup is required. Next here we need to take care of the storage also. Storage also we need to take care at here. Right. Next here we need to take care of the network setup also. Network setup also required at here. Network setup, all these things will come under infrastructure setup only. All these things will come under infrastructure guys. Right. First activity, we need to set up the infrastructure. If you want to deploy the application, right, infrastructure must be required. What infrastructure is required? If you want to deploy the application, you need the missions, you need some software, you need servers, you need database, you need storage, and you need network setup. All these things are required in the infrastructure. Guys, have a look into this. Who will do this infrastructure setup? DevOps engineers only. DevOps team only will do this infrastructure setup. Once infrastructure is ready, right, all the missions, all the servers are ready, storage, missions, DB servers, right, network, everything is ready. Next, what we need to do? We need to download the code. We need to download the code from the GitHub repository. Download the code from GitHub repository. We need to download the code from the GitHub repository. Right? So once code is downloaded, we need to compile the code and package the code. We need to compile and package the code. Compile and package the code. Compile and package the code. Right? Compilation and package both are done. Next, what we need to do? We need to do the code review. Code review we need to do. Right here, developers are followed the coding standards or not. Right? Developers are followed the coding standards or not. They have written the proper code or not. We need to review that code, guys. Manually, we are not going to do any review. We don't know, right? As a DevOps engineers, we don't know Java. Then how we can able to review that? Manually, we are not going to do review. Right? For that, we are going to use one software. That software will do the code review. Sonar software we will use. That Sonar will do the code review, guys. As a DevOps engineers, we are not going to do any manual review at here. Right? Sonar will do the review and it will generate the report. That report we need to give it to the developers. Developers again will fix all those issues. Okay? Right. Once code review is completed, then we will deploy the project into the servers. Deploy the project into server. Deploy the project into servers. Deploy the project into the servers. Guys, observe carefully here. Guys, observe carefully. Right. See, up to here. See guys, right, in a project we have two teams are available. One is the development team, another one is the operations team. Development team will develop the code and they will upload the code into the GitHub repository. Now, if you want to deploy the project into the servers, how you can able to deploy, guys? Before deploying, first you need to prepare the infrastructure. You need to make it ready, that infrastructure where you will deploy the code. You need to deploy the code in the servers. Where you have the servers, that infrastructure we need to make it ready first. Right? That's why first we are going to do the infrastructure setup. Where we are doing that infrastructure setup? In AWS cloud, we are doing the infrastructure setup. Right, guys? This is the infrastructure setup I have done. Right, infrastructure setup means what? Right, some computers are required, some softwares we need to install, some servers are required, some databases are required, storage is required, network is not required, power is required. All these things will come under infrastructure setup only. Right? Once infrastructure setup is ready, whatever the developers are uploaded the code into the GitHub repository, we need to download the code. For downloading the code, we are going to use Git. Git software we are going to use for downloading the code. By using Git, we can download the code from the GitHub repository. Code is downloaded. Right? After code downloaded, we need to compile that code and we need to package that code as a WAR file. Right? We are going to compress as a WAR file. We have so many files are available. All those files we are going to compress, packaging as a WAR file. So that part we are going to do in compile and packaging the code. Once start step is completed, we need to do the code review. How developers are written the code. Right? They have followed the coding standards or not. Right? We need to check that everything. Right? For that, we are going to use one software. Once code review is a success, then only you can able to deploy the application into the server. Otherwise, you can't able to deploy it, guys. And who will do all these activities? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who will do all these steps, guys? Right, DevOps engineers. Developers activity up to here completed. Right, then DevOps team come into the picture and they will do all these activities. Okay, guys? Fine. So now tell me, for infrastructure setup, what we are going to use, guys? For infrastructure setup, what we are going to use? For infrastructure setup, here we are going to learn Terraform. Terraform. Infrastructure we can do in two ways, guys. Through GUI we can do, and by using Terraform also we can do. Right? Instead of, see, if you go to AWS account, see guys, let me open AWS account. Here already open for previous batch. See guys, I want to create, these are the virtual machines. Ansible server, Ansible host. These are the two virtual computers, right, which I have created in the AWS cloud. Right, how you will do this activity? For that, GUI is available. Click on launch instance, you will get GUI. See guys, here give the computer name. Right, from which image I want to create the computer. Right, here like this you will get the GUI. Through GUI you can able to create the infrastructure setup. Infrastructure you can create through GUI. But nowadays companies are asking how you will create the infrastructure by using code. I don't want to create the infrastructure through GUI. I want to create the infrastructure by using code. How you will create by using code, they are asking. Right? To create the infrastructure by using code, we are going to use Terraform. Terraform we are going to discuss, guys. Guys, observe carefully. Infrastructure we can create in two ways. Either by using GUI or by using code also. Code also, guys. If you want to create by using code, then we need to go for Terraform. Most of the companies, 90% of the companies are using Terraform only to create the infrastructure. Is it clear, guys? Right, how you will create the infrastructure? Step 1, by using Terraform. Okay, infrastructure is ready. Infrastructure is nothing but what? Missions only. Creating the missions. Missions are created successfully. Right, now in those missions, I want to install the softwares. I want to install the softwares in those missions. For that, which tool we are going to use? Which DevOps tool is available for installing the software? We have Ansible. Right here, software installations. For software installations purpose, we are going to learn Ansible. By using Ansible, we are going to install the required softwares in all the virtual machines. For creating the missions, we are going to use Terraform. For installing the softwares, we are going to learn Ansible. Ansible we are going to learn. Okay. Now, I want to download the code from the GitHub repository. I want to download the code from the GitHub repository. For that, what we are going to learn? Git. Git we are going to learn. By using Git, we are going to download the code from the GitHub repository. Git software is available. By using that Git software, we will download the code from the GitHub repository. Next, I want to compile the code and I want to package the code as a WAR file. For that, which tool we are going to learn? We have multiple tools are available. Multiple tools are available. Ant is available. Enant is available. Gradle is available. Maven is available. Ant is available. Enant is available. Gradle is available. Gradle is available. Maven is available. Right, Maven is available. All these are build tools. We will call it as build tools. And Enant, Gradle, Maven. All these are the build tools. In all these tools, which tool we are going to learn? For compiling and packaging, Maven tool we are going to learn. Maven we are going to learn for compiling and packaging purpose. Okay. Next, for code review purpose, which tool we are going to learn? Sonar. Sonar we are going to learn for code review purpose. Sonar Cube. Sonar Cube we are going to learn for code review purpose. Next, for deploying the project into the server. Right, deploying the project into the server, which tool we are going to learn? Jenkins we are going to learn here. Jenkins we are going to learn here. See guys, all these tools yesterday mentioned are not. Terraform for infrastructure setup, Ansible for software installations, Git we are going to use to download the Git code from the GitHub repository. Maven we are going to use for build purpose. Sonar we are going to use for code review purpose. Jenkins we are going to use for deployment purpose. Understood guys? Is it clear? Is it clear guys? Please have a look into this diagram.
Yes, sir.
Right here. And here, if you want to maintain your application in multiple servers, not in single server. In real time, applications will be multiple servers, guys, not in single server. Suppose if you deploy the application in single server, what it will happen? Assume, guys, we have the Facebook application. Assume that Facebook application is deployed in single server. Right, multiple, right, that Facebook application, right, worldwide application, guys, that is the worldwide application. Crores of people will access that application, guys. Right, if you deploy the application in single server per hour, how many requests will go to that server? Crores of requests will go. Right, server can able to handle that much of load? Server can able to handle that much of traffic? No, it can't able to handle. Server can't able to handle. Server will take more time to process the request. Right, if you deploy the application in single server, server will take more time to process the number of requests. Right, sometimes server might get crashed also. Sometimes server might get crashed also. That's why in real time, we will deploy our application in multiple servers, not in single server. Right, if you want to maintain your application, if you want to manage your application in multiple servers, then we need to go for Docker and Kubernetes. Docker and Kubernetes also we are going to understand to maintain our application in multiple servers. So to maintain our application in multiple servers, we are going to understand Docker and Kubernetes also. Right guys, is it clear? Here, Jenkins will deploy the application. Jenkins will deploy the application into the servers. Jenkins will deploy the application into the servers, guys. See guys, Terraform, Ansible, Git, Maven, Sonar, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Remaining whatever we have, Docker Swarm, Kubernetes, all are will come at here only. Remaining things, ELK, Prometheus, Grafana, all these things we are going to use for monitoring purpose. Right. So here clusters we are going to create. By using Kubernetes, clusters we are going to create. We need to monitor those clusters. How clusters are running in the containers. Right. We need to monitor those clusters and how application is running. We need to monitor. Right. For application Monitoring purpose, we are going to use ELK logs, guys. Logs we will create based on that log files. We can able to monitor the application, right? If you want to monitor the clusters, for that, right, monitoring the clusters and monitoring the application, we are going to use these three tools: ELK, Prometheus, Grafana, right? All these are the monitoring tools. Prometheus, Grafana, ELK, it won't take much time, guys. Maximum it will take 3 sessions. In 3 sessions, we can complete all these monitoring tools. Right here, among these tools, in total tools, all these tools, right, most of the time we need to spend it on Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. Only these 3 tools will take 1 month of the time, guys. To discuss these 3 tools, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, right, 1 month time it will take. 1 month time it will take, guys. Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. These 3 are the very important tools. To complete these 3 tools, 1 month is required. See, guys, earlier for infrastructure setup, separate team is available. Right? For software installations purpose, system admins are available, separate team. Right? For build team, separate build team is available to build and package the WAR file. Right? For code review purpose, separate team. For deployment team, separate team is available, guys. Earlier, this is the manual process. Earlier, this is the manual process, guys. Now, right, with DevOps, what we are doing here, whatever I mentioned in this box, these 5 steps we are going to automate by using DevOps, guys. We are going to automate by using DevOps all these steps, guys. Whatever the activities which are doing by operations team, those activities we are going to automate by using DevOps. If you don't have the DevOps, manually you need to do all these things. If you want to do manually, it will take lot of time. Right? Delivery will become, right, delivering the project to client, it will become late, guys. It will take time to deliver the project to client. Right? With this DevOps, what we are doing with this DevOps culture, process is same. Just we are automating. That's why I'm telling DevOps is not a programming language. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is not a framework. Then what is this? Just it is a culture. Just it is a process. Just it is a set of practices. Right? With this DevOps culture, we are delivering the project to client very easily and quickly. With this DevOps culture, we are automating the delivery process. We are automating the delivery process. Understood, guys? Is it clear? Just have a look into this diagram. DevOps is a combination of development plus operations. DevOps is a combination of development and operations, guys. It is a combination. It is a combination, guys. Right, guys. Here what we are using, guys. Here whatever I have mentioned. Let me give some brief description about those things. GitHub. What is this GitHub, guys? It is a repository where all developers will upload the code, guys. It is a repository where all developers will upload the code. Just it is a repository where developers will upload the code. Right? Next one is Maven. What is this Maven, guys? What is this Maven? It is a build tool. It is a build tool, guys. Compile and packaging. What this build tool will do? Compile and packaging. This build tool will do. Right. So next one is what? SonarQube. Sonar Cube. Sonar Cube. What this Sonar Cube will do? We will use Sonar Cube for code review purpose. We will use Sonar Cube for code review purpose. Code review purpose. How developers are writing the code. Right, developers are following the coding standards or not. Everything Sonar Cube will verify. Right, next Jenkins. Jenkins. What is this Jenkins, guys? Jenkins is a deployment tool. It is a deployment tool. We will deploy the project into the server by using Jenkins only. Next, Terraform. Terraform. What is this Terraform? Right, we will use Terraform, right, for infrastructure setup, infrastructure creation, right, to automate the infrastructure creation in AWS cloud. AWS cloud, create the infrastructure. We are going to use Terraform. Next, Ansible. Right, what is this Ansible, guys? We will use for configuration management purpose. I want to configure the softwares in the machines. I want to install the softwares in the machines. For that, we are going to use Ansible as a configuration management tool. Right. Before Ansible, what people used, guys? Anyone have any idea? What are the alternatives we have for Ansible? Guys, please respond. Alternatives for Ansible. Chef is there, Puppet is there. Earlier people used it to work with Chef and Puppet. Right? Chef and Puppet follows pull mechanism. Ansible follows push mechanism. Right? What is the difference between Ansible, Chef and Puppet? In interview, if they ask what is the difference between Ansible, Chef and Puppet, means what answer you guys need to give? Chef and Puppet follows pull mechanism. Ansible follows push mechanism. What is pull mechanism? What is push mechanism? We will discuss. We will discuss at the time of Ansible, guys. Okay. Ansible we will use for configuration management purpose. We will use for configuration management purpose. Configuration management purpose. We will use for configuration management purpose. Right. What is a Docker, guys? What is a Docker? Docker is a containerization platform. Containerization platform. It is a containerization platform. It is a containerization platform. Here we will create the containers, guys. Docker containers we will create. Docker file is available. From that Docker file, we will create the Docker images. From that Docker images, we will create the Docker containers. What is Docker container? How to create the Docker containers? Everything we will discuss, guys. For every service, for every API, we need to create the container. Right? Next. What is Kubernetes, guys? What is Kubernetes? What is Kubernetes? It is a orchestration platform. It is a orchestration platform. Right? What this Kubernetes will do, whatever the containers you have created here, Kubernetes will manage these containers. Kubernetes will manage those containers, guys. In Docker, we are creating the containers. Right? Some platform, some orchestration platform is required to manage those containers. Here we are going to use Kubernetes. Docker Swarm and Kubernetes, both are orchestration platforms only. Here we are going to discuss both. We are going to discuss both Docker Swarm and Kubernetes also. Right? So next one is Grafana. Grafana. What is this Grafana? Visualization software. Grafana is a visualization software. Visualization software. Right? We will use for monitoring purpose. Visualization means monitoring purpose. We will use this Grafana. Right? So Prometheus. Prometheus also same. Prometheus also same, guys. Prometheus. What is the use of Prometheus, guys? It is a monitoring software. Monitoring software. Right. Next, ELK. Right. This is for logs monitoring purpose. Logs monitoring. Right. Logs will be generated. Server will generate the logs. We need to monitor those logs by using this ELK. Right, guys. Next here we will discuss about Tomcat. Tomcat also we will discuss. What is this Tomcat? It is a web server. Web server, guys. We will deploy the web application inside web server. To run the web application, we require web server. Tomcat is one kind of web server. We are going to discuss this Tomcat also. We are going to discuss. See, guys, all these things we are going to learn. All these things here. Am I mentioned all these things or not? Terraform, Ansible, Git, Maven, Sonar, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Right? See, right? What is the purpose of each and every tool? Also, I mentioned here. GitHub, it is a repository, guys, where all developers will upload the code. Maven, it is a build tool, guys. It will do compilation and packaging. Sonar, we will use Sonar for code review purpose. Developers are writing the code. Right? We need to verify. Before deploying the project into the server, we need to check how developers have written the code. Right? Whether they are following the coding standards or not. Whether they have written the test cases or not. Everything we need to verify. For that purpose, we are using Sonar. Sonar will verify that. Sonar will generate the report. We need to forward that report to the development team. Right? If there is any issues, development team needs to fix those issues. DevOps team is not going to fix those issues. Whatever the report is generated by SonarQube, that report, DevOps team is not going to work on that. Just we need to give that report to development team. Development team needs to work on that. Okay, Jenkins. We need to use Jenkins for deploying the project into the server. Jenkins will deploy the project into the server. Terraform. We need to create the infrastructure in the AWS cloud. For that purpose, we are going to use Terraform. Ansible. We need to here by using Terraform, we are creating the infrastructure. We are creating some missions. We need to deploy some we need to install softwares in those missions. For software installations, I am going to discuss Ansible. Right? Ansible is a configuration management tool. Right? Next, Docker, guys. Here we need to create the containers, guys. I want to maintain the application in multiple servers. To manage the application, to maintain the application in multiple servers, we are going to use Docker, Kubernetes, and all these things. What is Docker? Docker is a containerization platform. Right? Here we need to create the containers. Kubernetes, orchestration platform. Here, whatever the containers you are creating, we need to manage those containers by using orchestration platform. We require some orchestration platforms to manage the containers. Right? Here with the Docker, so whatever the containers we are creating, right, we need to manage those containers by using orchestration platform. Here, what orchestration platforms are available? Kubernetes is orchestration platform, and Docker Swarm also one orchestration platform only. Right here, both we will discuss, guys. Docker Swarm and Kubernetes. Both we will discuss. These two are the orchestration platform only. Right? Grafana, visualization software. Right? Grafana, Prometheus, ELK. All these are the monitoring tools. Tomcat is a web server. If you want to run your web application, we need one web server. That web server we are going to use Tomcat. Guys, please have a look into this ones. Here, whatever I have written, please go through these steps, guys. What is a DevOps? It is not a programming language. It is not a, guys, in class only. You guys need to get each and every point. Before leaving the class, you guys should be confident on these things what we discussed, guys. See, guys, DevOps is not a programming language. It is not a framework. It is not a tool. Then what is this? Just it is a culture. Just it is a process. Just it is a set of practices. With this DevOps culture, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. DevOps is used to automate the project delivery process to client. DevOps is a combination of development and operations. And here, all these tools we are going to discuss. Let's see here. In every project, we can see below two types of teams. Below two types of teams. At what type? Two types of teams, guys. One is development team. And second one is operations team. Right. What is the role of development team? Development team will develop the project by using some programming languages. What operations team will do? They develop the project by using some programming languages, and they will upload the code. Into repository. They will upload the code into repository. Right. Next, what operations team will do? Right. Once development activity is completed, operations team will come into the picture. Once development activity is completed, then operations team will come into the picture. Operations team will come into the picture. Right. Operations team will download the code. From the repository. And they will package the code. And deploy into the servers. And they will deploy into the servers. This is the operations team activity. Right, guys? Guys, please read it once again. Please read from your end. Please go through these steps once. If you guys have any doubt in any point, please ask. Right? If you guys have any doubt in any step, you guys can ask now. Please go through these steps once.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, DevOps is a combination of development and operation.
Yeah,
Sir,
correct.
what is the process of development and operation?
See, guys, here, so development team and operations team, both will work collaboratively. And here, development team and operations team both will work collaboratively, guys. That's why we are saying DevOps is nothing but combination of development and operations. Okay, both should work collaboratively, guys.
Okay, sir, okay.
See, simple, guys. Here we have downloaded the code. Right, we will create some pipelines, guys. Right, see here, jobs are executing due to code review or due to this build time. Here we are going to build the code, right, compile and package in the code, right. Right, if there is any problem in this third stage or fourth stage, what we need to do? Again, we need to communicate with the development team. We need to tell, "Arey boss, code is not executing properly. Jobs are failing. Please check it once." These are the errors we are facing. Like that, we need to give the report to development team. Again, development team needs to fix, and again they will upload the code, and again we need to download the code, and again we need to run these steps one by one. So like this, development team and operations team both should work collaboratively. Then only we can deliver quality of the product, guys. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Here, what we are compiling, whatever the developers are written, whatever they have given, that code only we are compiling. If it is not working, that is not our problem. If it is not working due to some build issues, there was some build issues, code is not executing, then what we need to do? We need to tell to this developers team only. Development team only we need to tell. They will verify. Why code is not working? What is the problem? They will verify. Right? If there is any code review issues, if they are not following the coding standards, who will fix those issues? Development team only. Again, we need to tell with them. They only fix those issues. Like this, both should work collaboratively. Both should work closely. Then only we can deliver the quality of the project. That's why we are saying DevOps is nothing but development and operations. Combination of development plus operations. Both will work collaboratively. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Please read the steps. I will share this notes and the diagram, everything I will share, guys. Today you guys got the clarity what DevOps team will do.
Yes, sir.
All these activities will do by DevOps team only. Downloading the code. Here we need to download the code from here, and we need to build that code, and we need to package that code, and we need to do the code review, and we need to deploy the code into the server.
Hello.
Yes. Now clear what is DevOps, why DevOps? Why DevOps is required, guys? To automate the delivery process. What is DevOps, guys? Just it is a culture or process or set of practices. Why DevOps? To automate the delivery process. With this DevOps culture, what we are doing? We are delivering the project quickly and easily. We are automating that delivery process by using this DevOps culture. Is it clear? Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have any questions? If you guys have no questions, with this, for today I'm stopping. Today we got clarity. What is DevOps? Why DevOps? Right. As a DevOps engineer, what is our job? Right. So we got some basic clarity, guys. Basic. I'm not asking 100%, just 10 to 20% is enough. Right? All these tools we need to learn. All these tools we need to learn, guys.
Sir, this is the only agenda. I have to work on this agenda and the process of working.
Pardon?
This is the process of working, sir. DevOps engineer.
Yeah, this is the DevOps engineer's job. I will show here. Here, what we will do here, mainly Jenkins will come into the picture. Right? We are going to integrate Jenkins with the GitHub repository, and we are going to integrate Maven and Sonar with the Jenkins. Whenever developers are upload the code into the GitHub repository, immediately my Jenkins will get the notification from the GitHub repository. Hey, some of the developers are uploaded the code. Like that, my Jenkins will get the notification. Right? Whenever notification came to the Jenkins, Jenkins will take the help of Git. Jenkins will take the help of Git and it will download the code. And already here we are integrating Maven also with Jenkins. By using that Maven help, Jenkins will build the code and create the var file. Right. Next, Sonar also we are integrating with the Jenkins. Jenkins will take the help of Sonar for code review purpose. Right. Once all these things are done, Jenkins will deploy the code into the server, guys. All these activities are doing by Jenkins only. Right, this Maven, Sonar, everything we are going to integrate with the Jenkins. Whenever developers are commit the code, immediately my Jenkins will get the notification. Right, Jenkins will take the help of Git, Maven, Sonar to do the activities. Once all those activities are completed, Jenkins only will deploy the code into the server. Right, how to integrate the Maven with Jenkins, how to integrate the Sonar with Jenkins, how to integrate the Tomcat with Jenkins, all these things we need to learn. Understood? Here Jenkins is very, very, very important. Here Jenkins is playing very important key role. Right, all these tools are, all these servers are going to integrate with Jenkins only. Jenkins only will do the main activities here. That's why we are going to spend more time on these three: Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes. In Jenkins, we need to see multiple scenarios, not one scenario. Right? Pipelines, how to create the CI/CD pipelines in the Jenkins. Right? How to do upstreaming and downstreaming. How to integrate all these things with Jenkins. Multiple scenarios we need to cover in Jenkins. This is only DevOps part side. AWS services are different. AWS services are different. Don't feel only this is the syllabus. AWS 20 services are different. See guys, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. This is the Jenkins server. Jenkins server. Right? So Jenkins server is integrated with the GitHub repository. Right. So whenever developers are uploaded the code into the GitHub repository, immediately my Jenkins server will get the notification. What Jenkins server will do, with the help of Git, Jenkins will download the code from the GitHub repository, and here Maven and Sonar also integrated with the Jenkins. Maven server and Sonar server. Maven server and Sonar server also integrated with the Jenkins. But here what Jenkins is doing, just it is downloading the code. Whatever developers are uploaded, that code only it is downloading. But my servers, my system can't able to understand that code. That's why it has to compile the code and it has to build the code and it has to package the code. How it can do all these things? With the help of Maven. With the help of Maven, Jenkins will do all those activities. Next, right, Jenkins need to do the code review also. How Jenkins will do the code review? With the help of SonarQube server. SonarQube server. Once code review and everything is success, then Jenkins will deploy the application into the server. Where we have the server, this is AWS cloud. This is my AWS cloud. AWS cloud. This AWS cloud, we have in this AWS cloud, we have Linux virtual machine. Linux virtual machine is available in this AWS cloud. Linux virtual machine is available. Inside this virtual machine, we installed Tomcat server. We installed Tomcat server inside this. Tomcat we installed in the Linux machine. Right. So here whatever the application is ready, right? Here var file is ready, right? So that var file it is going to deploy into the Tomcat server. It is going to deploy into the Tomcat server. This is the process, guys. This is the basic process. This is the basic process, guys. Okay, we need to integrate GitHub repository, Jenkins, Maven, Sonar, Tomcat, all these things we need to integrate. How to integrate all these things, right? We are going to discuss in our Jenkins sessions. Okay, developers activity just uploading the code into the GitHub repository. That's it. So this is second part. This part, right? This is second part. Everything we only need to take care. As a DevOps engineers, this is our job. This is we only need to take care, guys. Is it clear? Tomorrow, here, oh, sorry, guys. Here I forget to mention one more thing, guys. Here I forget to mention one more thing. Nexus. Nexus repository also we are going to discuss. So this is a repository, guys. This is the repository. Here, what we are going to store in the Nexus repository, right? Here, Maven will create one var file, right? Maven will create one var file, right? That var files, right? That artifacts we are going to maintain in the Nexus repository. That Nexus also we need to integrate with the Jenkins. That Nexus also, Nexus is one repository, guys. Inside that, right? We need to store the var files, that packaging files we need to store in the Nexus repository. That Nexus also we need to integrate the Jenkins. Nexus also we will discuss, guys. Nexus also we will discuss. Okay. So you guys get the basic idea? Just a basic idea. At least 1 or 2% enough. Remaining things I will take care. I will inject slowly one by one.
Sir, Jenkins server is a type of server that is connect the all things, sir.
Yeah, Jenkins only will connect with all these things.
Sir,
Yeah, Jenkins is the main one.
Jenkins server, sir.
Pardon?
We don't know Jenkins server.
I'm here, right? I will teach Jenkins. That's why we are going to spend 1 month of the time to discuss Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, right? Right, from scratch, from beginning, each and everything we will discuss. What is this Jenkins? How to set up the Jenkins? How to link, how to integrate all these things with Jenkins? How to create the jobs in the Jenkins? Everything we will discuss.
No, yes, sir.
Inside the Jenkins, what we will do? We will create the jobs. Inside the Jenkins, we need to create the jobs. For that, we need to install Jenkins software. Right. Once Jenkins software is installed successfully, we need to start the Jenkins server. Once Jenkins server is started, then you can able to access one Jenkins dashboard. In that dashboard, UI dashboard, you need to create the jobs. What is job? Right. What that job has to do, everything we need to configure. Right. Inside the job only, we need to configure this GitHub repository URL, this Tomcat, where Tomcat is running, that we need to configure. Everything we need to configure in the Jenkins job only. I will discuss. I will show each and everything. Guys, I'm promising you guys will get 100% clarity and 100% confidence on each and every tool. Like that, with example, everything with the practical example, I will inject. I will explain, guys. Don't worry. Just remember this terminology. That's it, guys. As of now, just remember this terminology. Right. Practically, we are going to discuss each and everything. Pardon?
Is Terraform, sir? What is Terraform and how to use Terraform?
Terraform, see, guys. Generally, we will create the Linux virtual machines in the AWS cloud. To create Linux virtual machines, we have UI. GUI is available in the AWS. Right? Some companies are asking, "Arey, I don't want to use GUI to create the Linux virtual machines. I want to create the Linux virtual machine by using some code. I want to write some code, write some 4 to 5 lines of the code to create the Linux virtual machine," they will ask. For that, we are going to use Terraform. By using Terraform, what we are doing? We are creating the virtual machines in the AWS cloud. By using Terraform
is a machine, sir. Yeah. Terraform is a machine.
Terraform is a software, not a mission. Terraform is a software, not a mission. By using that, we are going to create the missions. By using Terraform, we are going to create. Terraform is implemented by using Go language. Terraform software is implemented by using Go language. It is maintaining by HashiCorp company. Inside the Terraform, what code we need to write? We need to write the HCL code. HCL stands for HashiCorp language. By using HCL code, we need to write the logic inside the Terraform to create the infrastructures. 1 minute. I will show some sample code for previous batch. For previous batch, I have written the code. I will show 1 minute. See here, Terraform. Ninth, 29th, 27th, 10th month. Twenty-sixth. See guys, this is the Terraform code. I want to create one AWS mission, AWS instance. Here, how many missions you want to create? Count. Right, which AMI we need to use? What is AMI? We will discuss in AWS Guide. Amazon mission image. What is the instance type you need to take? What is the key name you need to take? What is the security groups you need to take? What is the name of your mission? Right, like this. This is the code, guys. This is the HCL code, HashiCorp language. We need to write this code to create the missions. This is the Terraform, guys. Right? Instead of creating the missions through GUI, they will ask you to create the missions by using code. Terraform is IAC. We can say Terraform is a IAC. IAC stands for infrastructure as code. IAC. IAC stands for infrastructure as code. Right, I want to create the infrastructure by using the code, not by using GUI. We will discuss, guys. We will discuss. Very, very easy. You guys no need to worry. It's very simple. Terraform for infrastructure creation, Ansible for software installations purpose, Git we are going to use to download the code from the GitHub repository, Maven we are going to use for compilation, build and packaging, Sonar we are going to use for code review, right? Jenkins we are going to use for deploying the project into the servers. Docker and Kubernetes we are going to use to maintain the project in multiple servers. Okay, Grafana, Prometheus and ELK are the monitoring tools. Next, Nexus also one repository. We will keep all our packaged WAR files inside the Nexus repository. Tomcat is a web server. To run the web applications, we need one web server. So here, Tomcat we are going to take as a web server. Is it clear, guys?
Container, sir. Tomcat is a type of container, no?
Tomcat is web server, guys. That is the server. Right, that is also container only. That is web server. Right, inside the Tomcat web app folder is there. Inside that web app folder, we need to keep our application. Deploying the application in the Tomcat server is nothing but what? Right, keeping our application inside the web app folder. Where that web app folder is available inside the Tomcat. That we will discuss, guys. How to deploy the application manually into the Tomcat server. How to deploy the application automatically by using Jenkins into the Tomcat server. Everything we will discuss. I will show both manual process and automation process. How to deploy manually into Tomcat. How to deploy application automatically into Tomcat. Both we will discuss. Okay. Still anyone have any questions? Okay. Fine, guys. Tomorrow Sunday.
Easy to learn, sir. Sir,
Pardon?
Sir, easy to learn, sir, or it is more difficult? I have to do more practice, sir.
Practice, yes, guys. All these are the tools. At least daily, right? Subject wise, no doubt, guys. I can give 100%. Right, from you guys. Right, what I'm expecting is daily minimum 2 hours practice is required, guys. Daily minimum 2 hours practice is required.
Sir, how to practice, sir?
How to practice in the sense?
You told me to practice, but how to practice, sir? Only for listening your recorded video.
No, guys. Here, whatever I am showing, practically, I will show each and everything, right? Here, whatever I am showing practically, you guys also need to practice in your laptops. And here, I will give the tasks also. In the middle, tools wise, I will give some task. You guys need to practice. You guys need to do those tasks also. What you guys are understood, that you guys need to implement with the task. Here I will show right in classroom, everything I will do in front of you guys. Whatever I am doing, same thing you guys also, you need to practice in your laptops.
So we can also install all of them. Git,
right, everything, installations and everything I will show, right?
Personal laptops.
Right, in your personal laptop, whatever you guys want to install, everything I will show.
Okay.
In classroom, everything I will do from scratch. From 0 level, I will do. I don't have anything in my mission. Right? Everything I will do from beginning. And step by step, I will mention. Whatever I am doing, everything I will mention step by step. Right? Follow these notes, follow the steps, and do it from your end also. Same way, you guys will get the recording video also. Right? If you guys have any questions, you guys can go through that record. Right? If you guys have any issues, we will create one Telegram group, guys. Right? At the time of practicing, you guys will face any issues. Take a screenshot and put it in the Telegram group. I will respond for that. I will give the reply for that issue. Right? We maintain one Telegram group, guys. There you guys need to keep all your questions. While practicing, any issue is there, just to take one screenshot and put into the Telegram group. I will reply. I will check it and I will reply, guys. Okay?
Okay.
Fine, guys.
Sir,
Tomorrow
I have
Sunday.
one question.
Yeah.
So you are going to give all the notes, right?
Yeah, correct. I will give the notes.
Permanently.
The notes is permanent, guys. Notes is permanent.
Yeah.
You guys can download from the
Only
Telegram
some
notes,
videos.
but recordings you guys can't able to download. You guys can see, you guys can go through only in online that recordings.
Up to 3 months only.
3 months, up to 3 months.
I mean, you mean up to the end of this course?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Sir.
Up to 3 months means, right? So here after uploading, that record will available up to 3 months. Tomorrow, right? Today one record is uploaded. Right? From today 3 months, this recording is available. Right? Tomorrow, if I upload one video, from tomorrow next 3 months it will available. Day after tomorrow, I will upload one video. That video is available from day after tomorrow to next 3 months.
Okay.
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, one general question. According to your experience, how long do you think DevOps engineers will sustain in software field? I mean, there's a software course.
Guys, next
DevOps.
10 to 15 years. 10 to 15 years. There is no worry for DevOps team, DevOps people. Right? After that, if any new things are came, again we need to get those things also. We need to learn those things also. Up to 10 years, up to at least 10 to 15 years, we no need to worry, guys. We can survive. No issues.
Okay, sir.
Okay? Fine, guys. Tomorrow we don't have the session. Tomorrow Sunday. Next session is on Monday 8:30, guys. Yes, please check with Kalyan. He will provide these notes and recordings, everything, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Good night. Have a great weekend. Thank you, guys.
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.